Someone asked me if I have a hierarchy to art, like what's good art and what's bad art, A level art and F level art. I look at art through three different lenses: as a teacher, as a former gallery owner, and as an artist myself. As an art teacher, I recognize that everybody has an innate creative ability, and as a teacher, I need to tap into that and make connections between the materials that we're using and my students' interests. I have been fascinated by the work of a 7-year old and bored by the work of a high school senior, and absolutely vice versa. It's all art. As a gallery owner, I would sometimes have to look at artwork as a commodity. I would look at the portfolio and say, can I sell this? Is this something my customers would be interested in? That's a very different lens to look at art through. Money. I was in the very fortunate position of actually owning my building. It was a tiny firehouse that would fit one truck. I lived where the meeting rooms were and showed art in the truck area. So that meant sometimes I could actually exhibit work that I really loved and was excited by, even though I knew it wouldn't sell. We had some really fun exhibitions that way. We even did poetry readings in there and music events. 25 years. It was a long run and it was fun. Then there's me as an artist. I was born into an unusual situation. I think my great grandmother was an artist, my grandmother was an artist, my mom went to art school, so art was always appreciated and encouraged. And I would do lots of different things. I can sculpt, I can paint, I can do pottery, stained glass, metal smithing, welding, origami, sewing, and there's probably a lot more that I could list, which makes me a good teacher. But as an artist with experience in all of these other areas, I also have an opinion about what I like and what I don't like. And it will be very different than my spouse's opinion as well. I love realistic art that has a message, but I also like abstract expressionist work that just sort of teases the brain. So I own paintings that have no discernible imagery in them and others that are photographic. I own a lot of craft items from my travels around the world: weaving, pottery, alebrijes, some woodworking projects, just some really cool stuff. And I value those and cherish those. The work of those artisans is amazing. So, no, I don't have a hierarchy. I can look at art that I don't necessarily like and find stuff about it that I feel is positive, which you've seen me talk about here on my platform. But let me know in the comments, do you have a hierarchy for art? Is there good art and bad art? Here's my reply. Pause if you like. But I would like to hear your thoughts. Thanks.